All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's March here in New Hampshire, and that means mud season, which means it snows and it's warm out and there's mud everywhere. But what March also means is it's time for a truck update. So because it's snowing, we're gonna sit in the truck and do this update. I was trying to get it perfect. As you'll see, truck has 91,000.1 miles on it. I pulled in and I was like, oh, I hope it stays at 91,000 exactly, but the truck gods did not oblige me. So we're gonna talk about, in this video, the mileage of the truck, obviously, maintenance I've done, and modifications. So to help me a little bit, I brought out my logbook. This is where I am keeping track of all the maintenance that I do, who does the maintenance, and the mileage it gets done at and what exactly gets done. So in February, I did a lot of the big ticket items for the 100,000 mile maintenance, both front and rear differentials, drain and fill both cooling systems, rotate the tires. I also, my last update, talked about resetting the transmission adaptive learn tables. I changed the transfer case fluid, did a couple other things. So in March specifically, the big item that I did was I took the truck to Townsend Ford, which is just over the border from us in Massachusetts. They're great. They are expensive because they're a Ford dealer, but they're a really good Ford dealer. They didn't raise their prices like crazy during the pandemic when everyone was marking up, vehicles by like 40%. So I had them replace the thermostat, the gasket, and the upper radiator hose. You don't always have to do that right at 100K, but again, I bought my truck used at 49, so I wanted to make sure everything was ship shape. I also replaced the serpentine belt. That's a big thing at 100K. You want to get that done because the belt does wear down. I did an oil change on the 11th, so a few days after I got it back from Townsend Ford. I was just about to go on a big road trip. Unfortunately, I had a funeral to go to in Pennsylvania, so I ended up doing like 1,200 miles of driving in one weekend. So right before that, at 89.6, I changed the engine and oil filter, I greased the front end, and I replaced the air filter. I also washed the engine, I washed the truck before that trip, just doing little maintenance things to kind of keep it neat and tidy. So this is about it for March. This is all I have. The one other thing I am doing before my wife and I head out west on a little road trip, we're going to be driving to Denver, is I am going to be swapping out the steering stabilizer on the front end. And the reason I decided to swap out the steering stabilizer is I have a Bilstein 5100 series steering stabilizer on there, but I have really found that it doesn't dampen as much as I would like, especially at higher speeds. So, if you're even doing like 15 to 20 miles an hour on a rough dirt road, or if you're doing 70 to 75 on the highway, the stabilizer really doesn't dampen the movements of the steering wheel. You get a lot of the shakes and jerks when you hit a pothole or an expansion joint. So I bought a Fox Performance 2.0 TS, not an ATS, a TS stabilizer for about $320 off of I think it was Extreme Performance Diesel, and so that will be here in a few days, and I will be putting that on before our trip. But that should be the last modification I do for a little while, and I appreciate all you guys following, commenting, following along. I love PowerStrokes and diesels, even though they can be huge money pits. I've got a bunch of people that have commented and been like, yeah, why would you buy a diesel? It's a money pit. And it's like, come on, man, they're fun to drive. Like, yeah, I know they're a money pit, but if you at least swallow that pill and you like driving it and you like diesel and you like motorsports, like, they're worth having. And as you all know, I do not tow a lot with this truck. It is my daily driver. I'm an enthusiast. This is not a work truck, but I will keep doing these updates every month for you all. And, I'll if it's helpful, I'll show more of the book. I can talk about some of my intervals. I do have another video on that. Again, appreciate all you and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.